last class we were studying about the cloning vectors. So this class we are going to study the types of vectors. So we have different types of vectors: plasmids, bacteriophages, cosmids, phagmids, bacterial artificial chromosome, yeast artificial chromosome, mammalian vectors, and baculoviruses. Okay. So first we will take up the plasmids. Okay. Plasmids are basically present in bacteria, and they are defined as extrachromosomal self-replicating the circular double-stranded DNA molecules, okay, which give special function to bacteria. Okay, plasmid is the most simplest and most widely used vector. Coming to the advantages of using the plasmid vector. This can also be considered as plasmid as a cloning vector. What are the components which a plasmid having so that it can be used as an ideal vector? First thing is, it is small in size. So plasmid vectors are small in size. That is, they are having the size of less than 10 kilo base pair, and they can be easily purified. First thing, they are small in size. Second thing, they can be easily purified. Third thing, they are easy to handle, and they are self-replicating. Okay, they are small in size. Why we are using a plasmid as a cloning vector? Because they are small in size, they can be easily purified, easy to handle, and they are self-replicating. Okay. In addition to this, plasmid is having one more feature known as MCS. MCS stands for multiple cloning site, which is also known as the polylinker. So we have discussed while doing the restriction endonucleases that restriction endonucleases will recognize a particular sequence known as restriction site. Okay, and these plasmids are having a many number of restriction site. That's why it is known as the multiple cloning site. Multiple cloning site is nothing but MCS or multiple cloning site, or the polylinker is nothing but it is the region on the vector where it will be having the restriction site for more than 2 restriction endonucleases. That means more than 2 restriction endonucleases can able to cut this particular vector. Another important characteristics of plasmid vector is it is having a selectable marker. Selectable marker will be useful to identify that particular vector once we will transfer into the bacteria. Okay, and the selector marker that is naturally present in the plasmid include ampicillin resistant genes, okay, tetracycline resistant genes. Okay, plasmid being a vector, it is having a small size, it is easy to handle, easy to purify, self-replicating, having the MCS site as well as the selectable marker. Okay, the examples for plasmid include PBr322, PUC18, PSC101, TI plasmid, and RI plasmid. These are all the examples of plasmids. Okay. Last class we have also discussed about the PBr320. Another important example for plasmid vector is PUC18. PUC18, here P stands for the plasmid, UC stands for University of California. Okay, this particular plasmid has been identified by the scientists or researchers from University of California. They are constructed, this particular plasmid is constructed by the researchers from University of California. So that's why to honor them, this particular plasmid is labeled as PUC18. Okay, it is having a size of 2.6 base pair. So it is having the size of 2.6 base pair, and PUC18 vector is having a ampicillin resistance gene. So in exam they will be asking, write the vector map for PUC18. That time you should draw like this. So here you need to show this is the ORI site. It is even having a ORI site. ORI site is also known as the origin of replication, and this is useful for self-replication of that particular vector. So PUC18 is having one ORI site, one ampicillin resistant genes, and a MCS. See, you can see here MCS. MCS stands for multiple cloning site. See, you can see many number of enzymes are there. So this particular MCS region will be having the restriction sites for these many number of restriction endonucleases. In addition to this, the plasmid is having the LAC-Z gene. So here the selectable marker is LAC-Z gene. In the PUC18, the selectable marker is LAC-Z gene. So for that, because it's an expression vector, it is having the promoter as well as the binding site. So expression vector we will study later, but remember this particular PUC18, vector map of PUC18, you have to write that this is the PUC18, and here you should write the size of the vector. So the size of the vector is 2.686 base pair. Okay, it is having one ORI site, ampicillin resistance gene, a LAC-Z gene as well as the MCS region. Okay, LAC-Z gene is the selectable marker over here, and the MCS region. MCS region or the multiple cloning site region, it will be having the many restriction site of many number of restriction endonucleases. This is regarding the plasmid as a cloning vector as well as the examples of vector map of PUC18 as well as the PBR320. So last class we have discussed the vector map of PBR322. You can refer that one and you can be prepared for the examination. Okay. Second category of vectors are bacteriophages. Okay. And these vectors are also known as the phage based vectors. Phage is nothing but the virus. Okay, these vectors are also known as the phage based vectors because they are basically the viruses. Okay, there are two types of viruses that attack the bacteria are known as the bacteriophages. Okay, viruses that attack the bacteria are known as the bacteriophages, and these bacteriophages are used to clone large DNA fragment, and here the screening is very easy. The examples of phage based vector include the lambda phage vectors and M13 phage vectors. First we discuss the lambda phage vectors. Okay, lambda phage vectors, it will be having a linear double stranded DNA, and it is also having the cause sites. So initially in the bacteriophage, the DNA of the virus is in the linear form. Once it inserts its DNA into the virus, what happens is the cause sites which are present at the end of the linear DNA, it will circularize to form the circular DNA. Okay, lambda phage is having a genome size of 48.5 kilobase. Okay, and the lambda phage is having origin of replication as well as it also had the genes that encode proteins that is needed for the head and tail assembly, and it also having the genes responsible for replication. DNA replication lies in the lysogen. Okay, and another most important thing about the lambda phage vector is it is having the cause sites. Cause sites are nothing but 12 kilo base pair single stranded protruding cohesive ends. Okay, they are just 12 kilo base pair single stranded protruding ends. So, and I have discussed previously, these will join together to form the convert the linear DNA into a circular DNA. Okay, and the example of lambda phage vectors include lambda ZAP2 and lambda EMBL4. These are the two examples of lambda phage vectors. So we have also discussed the M13 phage vectors in the previous video. Okay, this is regarding the types of vectors.